When you own or manage commercial real estate, dealing with roof problems is inevitable. It's a matter of when and not if. So what are the biggest commercial roofing problems that we see? Well, we went through our logs and we found the 9 most frequent that we are dealing with nowadays. But first, just want to mention when you have when problems happen with your commercial property on the roof, make sure you have the phone number of a good commercial roofing contractor in your market. You want a roofer that's going to look out for the best interest of your building and also the best interest of your budget. So make sure that you have somebody that you trust that you can call with any of these issues that we're going to discuss. So with that said, here are the 9 most common commercial roofing issues that we see. Number 1, no surprise here, is a leaking roof, right? Leaking roofs for any commercial property, whether you have customers that are in your building or otherwise, it's a major problem that you want to avoid. So a lot of the times the repair for a leaking commercial roof can be a lot simpler than you would think it may be. It's important to get out there early, of course, but there's dozens of reasons that the leak can be occurring. They are oftentimes preventable with maintenance, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. The number 2 issue that we see, definitely in this market, is ponding water. So even though commercial properties, many of them are designed with flat roofs, and you may think it's normal for water to be pooling and ponding on that roof, it really is not good for the roof. Most roofing products are not waterproof, they're water resistant. They're designed to shed water on a gradual slope. So if you have a ponding issue, that could eventually result in a leak, and you want to have that corrected sooner rather than later. Number 3 most common issue that we see is poor workmanship, bad installation. So we find a lot of issues caused by bad installation. If you have something like this and you have been diagnosed with it, make sure you have a good commercial roofing repair company to come out and rectify the issue. The worst thing you can do is call the same company that did the improper installation back out to repair it, because as we know, 2 wrongs don't make a right, especially in roofing. Now, you may want to go after them with recourse for some of the costs that you incurred if they installed the roof, but if they've proven that they're not going to do a good job, don't have them come do more work on your property. Number 4 most common issue that we see is roof membrane shrinkage. So roof shrinkage is going to occur most often with EPDM or modified bitumen roof types. Usually though, it's going to be with EPDM that is a 10-year-old or older roof. More recent EPDM roofing technology, it results in the roof not shrinking as much, but we still see a lot of these roofs that are shrinking over time on top of flat roofs around commercial properties in Denver. So the reason is there's a lot of, if you have a lot of temperature swings or prolonged UV exposure, that's going to contribute to the roof membrane shrinking. Of course, we have both of those things in the Denver market, so that's why we see a lot of membrane shrinkage. There are solutions without having to replace the roof, so contact a good commercial roofer to come out and see if we can come up with something to prolong the life of your shrinking roof rather than replacing it entirely. Number 5 that we see, 5 biggest commercial roofing problem that we see is lack of maintenance. So with a lack of maintenance, with a commercial property, you want to be proactive about your maintenance. If you put it off, if you haven't had your roof inspected in a year or more, there are potential issues that could be accumulating up there. As they accumulate over time, the repair complexity is going to get worse and worse. So certainly, some of the common things that we see that fail first without proactive maintenance are seam peeling. At the seams between your membranes could be peeling apart. We also see clogged drain and gutters. Easy to clean out a roof drain or a gutter or a downspout and let water keep draining. If the clogging happens, it could become a pooling issue. And then the perimeter seal, right? Around the perimeter of your flat roof, you're going to have metal connections where the membrane terminates. If you don't maintain that proactively, that may fail, and one small failure could result in a major repair need. Okay, fine. Now we're getting into number 6 here. We're getting to the bottom third of the list that is damaged flashing, all right? So when you have damaged flashing, flashing is going to be installed on your roof at the most vulnerable areas where leaks are most likely to occur. If you have a single ply roof like TPO or EPDM, the flashing is going to be made out of membrane itself. And if that membrane is peeling around a skylight or an air conditioning unit, you will almost certainly have a leak. Now, flashing can also be made out of metal components. Metal can bend or rust, which, similar to the single-ply membrane flashing, results in roof leaks around your roof penetrations or perimeter. So, number 7 then is blow-offs. In this market, with as much wind as we get, we do see a lot of flat roof membranes blowing off in the wind. Most commonly, that's going to happen around the edge of the roof. Sometimes if you have a failing roof seam, that could be the starting point for a roof blow-off as well. Those can be repaired depending on how extensive the blow-off damage was. Number 8, most common commercial roofing problem that we see is incorrect materials being installed. This is kind of similar to the improper installation, but it's a different and distinct problem. The type of roofing material that you're going to have installed on your commercial roofing property is going to depend on several factors. For example, the property type, the climate of the location that it's in, the size of the building. Those are all things that are going to affect what is the best material to be installed on your commercial roof. And an inexperienced commercial roofer, whether it's for a budget reason, a cost saving, or for any other reason, an inexperienced commercial roofer may install a bad product fit for your property. And if that's the case, it may last a couple years, but then over time, you're going to experience a lot of repair needs and probably a premature need to have that roof replaced. Finally, getting to the bottom of the list here, number 9 is punctures on the roof. Now, this sounds like the worst of the list, but really punctures can be a very minor problem. If it's a falling tree that damaged the roof, or if it's just a piece of debris, we can usually replace that just with one piece of roofing material. It takes expert installation to make sure that's installed without any potential water intrusion around the seams, but it's usually pretty easy and cheap to do that. Now, punctures can also occur from large hail, which that is something that we get a lot of in Denver as well. So if it's a hail issue, you may have multiple punctures. You may want to talk about discussing that with your insurance company to see if it's worth filing a commercial property claim in that specific scenario. So those are the 9 biggest issues that we see. The best thing that you can do to get out in front of any expensive repairs for any of these 9 is just have your roof inspected. Once a year is really the minimum. We recommend at least twice a year. Quarterly is best, but just start with once a year. And you can have, most commercial roofing companies will get you on a maintenance schedule so that they are automatically going to come out once per year or more if you choose, inspect the roof, and if there are any repair needs, they'll let you know that proactively rather than waiting for a leak to happen and find out you need a major repair that's going to make you have to maybe lose access to your property for a day or 2. If you're in Denver, call Sol Vista. We can do these commercial property inspections. We can set up an annual schedule for you if you'd like, and get on a proactive maintenance timeline for you and your commercial real estate. Have you had any of these 9 issues happen? How did you take care of it? Did you have a good roofing experience? Are there any major roofing issues on your commercial property that are not on this list? Any of those questions, let us know in the comments what you think. We'll make another video about anything that you leave us, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one.